So Michael Moore gave a speech at that Bernie rally. And I like Michael Moore.
Because behind you on that island in Manhattan is the headquarters of corporate America,
which has been buying the Democratic Party since 1992. So I'm just going to add things that he's leaving out. Here we go.
On that island behind you, that is the headquarters of corporate media. On that island behind you is the headquarters of Wall Street.
Are you starting to think Michael Moore should have been a tour guide in New York? If you look behind you, you'll see the condo I'm buying with today's speaking fees.
So much misery has been visited upon the American people.
And that's just from the Marvel movies, am I right? Come on.
I'm a half a mile away from us. This has to stop. They have to hear this. They have to hear you across the river. Goldman Sachs, can you hear us? Fox News, can you hear us?
Well, if they didn't hear a rape whistle, they didn't hear you. Anyway, here we go. No, they can't hear you, but Shep Smith is in the East River. He can hear you. No, Fox News didn't hear you. They're in a meeting right now with CNN and MSNBC trying to figure out how to fuck over Bernie Sanders together. So that's what bothers me a little bit, that he just, Fox News, it's not Fox. Everyone who watches Fox News knows that Fox News what they're up to. But when people watch MSNBC and CNN, they think they're getting the fucking real news. I know people who watch Rachel Maddow and don't think she's nuts.
Trump Tower, can you hear us?
Of course they can. They use that Chinese glass. It's so thin. Anyway.
It's the scene of the crime over there. We're like Washington crossing the Delaware, except today it's just the East River. But like Bernie says, this is not just about defeating Trump. This is about defeating that which gave us Trump. The rotten system that gave us Donald Trump. That's got to go.
Yes. But that system that gave us Trump includes everyone that gave him billions in free coverage, right? Yeah. Right? So that's why it bothers me when he doesn't call out the Democratic Party, call out Debbie Wasserman Schultz, call out the DNC, call out CNN. That's who the real problem is. I mean, if Michael Moore's against the system that gave us Trump, he'd be against a network that covered Trump's empty podium instead of covering Bernie Sanders' speeches. You know, the revolution's not going to be covered by Comcast.
Polls will show you that there's 4 or 5 Democrats, consistently it shows head-to-head, can beat Trump. But beating him isn't enough. Hillary beat him. It's not enough. We need to not only crush Trump at the polls, afterwards, we need to fix this rotten, corrupt economic system that gave us Donald Trump and everything else we're dealing with.
Okay, I'm with him on that. But when he says the system, he's leaving out the most important part of the system. He's leaving out MSNBC and the establishment press that shits on progressives constantly. And even when Ed Schultz wanted to cover Bernie Sanders, MSNBC fired him. Everybody's losing their shit about Fox News forcing Shep Smith out for President Trump. What the fuck have they been doing at MSNBC since they started? They fired Phil Donahue, they fired Jesse Ventura, Ashley Banfield, and they fired this guy. And he's going to tell you about it, right?
Bernie Sanders live. We're coordinated with his campaign. And I'm told 5 minutes before, you're not covering Bernie Sanders. Now, let me give you the opinion. I think the Clintons were connected to Andy Lack, connected at the hip. I think that they didn't want anybody in their prime time or anywhere in their lineup supporting Bernie Sanders. I think that they were in the tank for Hillary Clinton, and I think it was managed, and 45 days later I was out at MSNBC.
There you go. There you go. So they won't let anybody on MSNBC who has anything good to say about Bernie without cutting them off or not. But so this guy, Ryan Grimm got on. So I'm guessing he doesn't have a contract with MSNBC, because listen to what he says about them not covering Bernie Sanders. Watch this.
To look this time, whereas Sanders is trying to change the complexion and the face of the electorate. So he's trying to organize enough people and inspire enough people, in Iowa particularly, to come out and caucus for Bernie Sanders. He's running up against this huge problem, though, that I mentioned earlier, of this media blackout. In the Democratic primary, this network and the New York Times have an enormous amount of influence. And this show in particular is an exception. It covers Sanders pretty regularly, but outside of that, he often either gets ignored or kind of laughed at as not a serious candidate, even when polls come out showing him, in reasonable contention. Yeah. And one quick point on the boot.
So there you go. He was allowed to say that on MSNBC, which is, that's his last appearance on MSNBC. Yes. So it's just weird. This is because that's what corporate censorship. So get this. So the reason why this was recorded off a phone, off the television, is because I got this from David Dole, the Rational National guy. I love that guy. Yeah, he was a good show. And so watch this. So he went to find that clip at msnbc.com and watch what happened.
When you go to the page, so this segment was from Monday, the 21st. You go to the page, you can see Wednesday here has a lot of clips up, about 5 or more. Tuesday has 4 clips. Then you go to Monday. Only 3 clips. And again, you see here Friday last week had 4 clips. Monday, only 3 clips. So every other day has at least 4 clips. Monday only had 3 clips. Why? Because they didn't post this video. They didn't want to share this. So not only is there a Bernie blackout, there is a blackout about the Bernie blackout.
And that is what corporate censorship looks like. That is how corporate power protects itself, and that is how media monopolies control public opinion. That's it right there. Okay. Wouldn't it be nice if Chris Hayes did a little investigation to find out why his own network doesn't cover Bernie Sanders? And then he could let us know the results of his investigation? Wouldn't that be great? Or is it that I think he already knows the real reason and he doesn't let him. Next live Jimmy Dore show is in Philadelphia, November 18th. Plus, we'll be in Honolulu on December 27th doing live shows all month long in November and December in Hollywood at the Sycamore Tavern. Plus, we're going to be in San Jose, Sacramento, Tempe, Portland. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all the tickets for all of our live shows. And please become a patron if you like the show. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com and become a premium member. Thanks for your support.